Alright, y'all, I really wasn't going to do a video on this because, well, there's really no need. We kind of know the answer to this riddle, but it's really not a riddle. But since we are not going to see this show for a while, probably for a few months, I have decided to go ahead and do somewhat the final segment of this Who's Better series for now. I might add some on when season 4 comes around because I am hopeful there will be a season 4. But right now, I'm just going to do a video on this. Who is better for Lucas? And I think you guys know the answer to it, but I know many people have already had their idea. I'm just going to lay out the basics and let's just bring back the triangle. Who is better for Lucas? Riley or Maya? Alright, like I said at the very beginning, I was not going to do a video on this because let's be real, we've kind of beat this down to death when it comes to this enormous ship that pretty much engulfed the entire show. Well, more so the triangle kind of absorbed the entire show for a while. So I really wasn't going to do a video on this. Excuse me. But now that we are pretty much close to the finale that is going to be coming down on, well, the Disney finale, the that's going to be going down this Friday coming up, I decided just to wrap this whole series off for now. More than likely, I think I've covered pretty much every character on the show for right now, unless they add new ones for season 4. But at this very moment, I'm just going to go ahead and cap this whole series off for right now, and let's just talk about Lucas. Yes, Lucas is probably the character with the least amount of development. He's been completely one-dimensional. He's never learned anything about the girls. Well, if he does know something about the girls, it's not a lot. And yes, he seems to be a bit fickle at times, as well as a little bit on the annoying side because of his good looks. And he's just there because he's a good-looking guy. That's pretty much what it is. But other than that, the triangle was a huge part of this entire series, well, at least for part of season 2 going on to season 3. And the way it ended, yeah, it didn't end very well for me because there was a lot of angles that just was not discussed. And honestly, after going back and looking at the campfire scene, and yes, they did cut out the kiss. I actually did notice that they did cut out the kiss. In my humble opinion, I really do feel that the reason, and I'm just going to go into a little bit of it. I'm not going to go too much into the old triangle. But yeah, there's a lot of things that got left out. Yes, of course, starting off in the series, Riley did like him because he was a cute guy. But in the very end, she was questioning whether or not they were better off as friends or they could actually start off in a relationship. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail because if you guys watched all of the seasons from 1 to 3, you know that, yes, Riley was practically chasing Lucas. But then when she actually was able to get Lucas, she wasn't sure if she wanted him anymore. Because, of course, he was an object of chase. He was a very attractive guy. They're great as friends because they both think alike. They're both do-gooders. They both think in one direction, in tunnel vision, if you will, when it comes to the right thing to do. And they kind of don't veer from their way. They kind of stay in one direction and don't go left or right. That similarity can be great in some aspects, but it can be detrimental for others. You gotta be a little bit multifaceted, especially when it comes to being in a world like this. Of course, this leads me to Maya. Now, when it comes to Maya, Maya didn't really have any nervous bone in her body going up to Lucas the first time they met. And she was the one that actually did give the first impression of Lucas just to kind of soften him up so Riley can go over there and talk to him because Riley was incredibly shy. But in my opinion, even though that Maya is completely fearless, she is very vulnerable too, and there's a lot of things about her that she's afraid to express to other people. The campfire scene was the most powerful scene for me because if they actually let that kiss in, it would have made so much more sense to the entire storyline and it would have put a lot more weight to the triangle because of the fact that she actually did kiss him. Now, if you honestly think about it, yeah, you can pretty much say that Riley's first kiss was with Farkle and Maya's first kiss was with Lucas. So, in a way, besides the whole first kiss thing, the similarities between Lucas and Maya are very much similar. And it's not so much the fact that they have fire and opposites attract. It's because they're both afraid to be themselves. Lucas always hides behind the fact that he can protect everybody, even though he's the most vulnerable and he's afraid to show exactly who he really is, feeling wise. When it comes to Maya, Maya acts all tough, but even though she's very smart and intelligent and underneath, she's a very scared little girl. And she's actually the one that really wants protection than Riley. Riley's actually gung ho going out there and seeing what the world has for her, and she doesn't really need Lucas's protection, even though Maya, in my opinion, kind of requires it. They kind of balance each other out in a way, even though they are both very spicy individuals. I hate to say spicy, but I can't think of the word right now. Even though they're both hot tempered, they both like to protect people, and they both are afraid of their feelings. They can learn and grow from each other a lot more than Riley and Lucas ever could. Now, don't get me wrong, Riley actually does have a huge influence on Lucas's life, especially when it comes to trying to stay in one direction. She is a very good friend. But when it comes to anything emotional like that, they just feel awkward. And I'm going to be honest with you. When you date somebody for the first time, or if you kiss them for the first time and you feel that awkwardness is not going to go away. That's just because you don't feel that same way for that person. And it's okay to be like, okay, I don't feel that way for you. And that's something that she's going to have to learn on her own. Every teenager goes through that. They feel like, okay, if I tell a guy that I like him, I got to go through with it. And honestly, you don't really have to. But that's something that every young woman and every young man has to discover for themselves. And in this case with Lucas and Riley, it was always doomed to the beginning. It was always doomed from the start because they just did not have that chemistry. They thought the same, they acted the same, but she actually was more comfortable with him being a friend and talking to him as a friend than dating him. She would always be shy. She would always feel awkward saying hi to him. It would always be that awkward moment. But when she got to know him and she was okay with them being friends, it was easier for her to actually express herself around him because of the fact that she was just comfortable being friends. Now, as for Maya, Maya, of course, is stubborn. She doesn't want to admit how she really feels. And no, she is not being Riley. She's actually being a girl that has a crush on a guy that is similarly like her when it comes to protecting people. And honestly, she does like his aggressive side, and that's the one thing that Riley does not like. And she likes the fact that Lucas likes to protect people, especially protect her and Riley. She enjoys that. I honestly think that they're a far better couple because they can actually emotionally express themselves a lot more if they just get Riley out the picture. But honestly, I really do feel that Riley is already out the picture because you didn't really see a lot of romantic moments between Lucas and Riley, and they kind of expressed that at the dance. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, Disney cut that out. No, they've pretty much set that whole thing up. And let's not get it twisted here. The writers were under a lot of restraint when it comes to how they wanted to be at Disney. But they had a way of putting hints and secrets out there to let their fans know which direction they're planning on going. At the dance, it kind of let you know right there, especially how especially how I can't remember his name, but he is one of my favorite characters. Gosh, my brain just kind of shut off right now. But anyway, when it comes to Corey's older brother, and if you guys know their name, leave it in the comments because my brain kind of shorted out for a second. When it came to her uncle, and her uncle pretty much talked how he felt about Rachel. And then you know about the love triangle, that weird love triangle between Rachel, his roommate, and I can't remember his name. But there was an odd love triangle going on in Boy Meets World, and he talked about how that he would always talk to Rachel pretty much every single night, while his roommate, Jack, that's his name, Jack, but I still can't remember the other guy's name. He's one of my favorite characters. But anyway, Jack would never talk to her because they had a relationship that ended. But his roommate talks to Rachel pretty much every single night. And that was the one thing that showed me that she kind of understood exactly what that meant. But then they kind of skewed it in another direction just to extend the whole love triangle thing. But honestly, I think Riley kind of fully understands that, hey, I don't really like you in that way. I think I thought you were attractive, but I'm not in love with you. And I think that she's starting to understand that. And I think that was how the writers actually set it up. They set up the fact that, yes, I'm attracted to you because you are physically attracted, attractive, but there's nothing that can really connect me to you. And I think that was something that Riley realized further on down the line. But unfortunately, they want to extend this whole love triangle thing to the hilt. But as for Maya, she does have difficulty expressing her feelings because she has issues with trust, especially the fact that her father left her. Now, even though she was unable to forgive her father, she's still struggling with trust issues, especially when it comes to Sean. Even though she loves Sean with all her heart, she still has trust issues, and that's the reason why that her and Lucas can't connect very well, because she does everything she can to keep him at a distance. But in my opinion, I think Lucas understands why she behaves that way, and kind of it doesn't faze him as much because he knows why she behaves that way, even though she's trying her hardest to keep her distance from him. And that's why I really think that they're better connected than Lucas and Riley. And also, we all know that Riley and Farkle are far more connected emotionally as well as possibly romantically than any other ship on the show, in my opinion. But honestly, yeah, I really do think that Maya is the best choice. And I think everybody thinks that too. Lucaya Nation rolls on. But I'm not saying it because I happen to be biased towards Maya and Lucas. I am not just doing this video because I'm a Luke Hyatt fan. I am a Luke Hyatt fan. I'm not going to deny that. But I am going to see both sides here. And when it comes to what I have seen, the only chemistry that I have seen between Lucas and Riley happens to be strictly platonic. And that's it. And I don't really see anything romantically involved or any romantic connection between those two. I see more romantic connection between Maya and Lucas than Riley and Lucas. That's just me. It's not because I'm a Lucaya fan. It's because I see more of a romantic connection with Lucaya than I do with Lucas. That's just me. I'm just saying. And I can't believe I forgot Will Friedle's character. Oh, he's my favorite character, and I forgot his name. Well, other than that, guys, if you know his name, by all means, leave it in the comments. And if you have any thoughts about who do you think is better for Lucas, and I know you guys are going to put Smackle down, but I've kind of moved on with that. Because I'm still all for Zayadora. But other than that, leave your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys think, and whether or not you think that either Maya, Lucas, and sure, you can add Smackle in there if you think that she's if either one of these girls are better for Lucas. I want to hear what you guys think. Niche Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later. Eric. That was his name. Eric. I can't believe I forgot Eric's name. He was one of my favorite characters. Never mind. Peace out, y'all.